I'm back, people. And you're wrong on the internet again. And so we gotta fix some problems. I was probably gonna die. This time, the sickness got me this close. But I saw someone wrong on the internet, so I had to come back to life to fix this problem. And the problem is this. You're so wrong about what confidence is. It's a basic category area. Please, just pick up Aristotle and learn how to think. People are going around on the internet right now and they're saying, well, secretly what confidence is about doing something over and over again. If you want to get confidence, you just got to do it a lot. No, that's not how you get confidence. That's how you get competence. I get it. They're similar words, but very different in meaning. Competence is great. I am a big fan of competence, but it is not the source of confidence. Now, to make things even more confusing, you can become confident in your competence, but that's narrow confidence. You're only confident in your competence in that one very specific thing. So to pull back, and you're wondering why is it I never feel like I'm enough? Why does it feel like I can't even get myself to take action on the goals that I want to do? That is because you lack confidence. And competence is not the path there. Competence is what you start seeking once you've got your confidence and you've identified a beautiful vision for yourself that inspires you. Once you have that, well, then competence becomes very helpful. And that's when you want to start building habits, and that's when you want to get in a lot of reps. I'm not here to say competence is bad, people. I'm here to say that it's different. And Alex Hermose has said it enough times where it's pissing me off, where he's like, no. See, the reason you're not confident is because you haven't spoken in front of a crowd 6,000 times. No, that's why you're not competent at speaking in front of a crowd 6,000 times. I would know. I've done it. That is competence, not confidence. Confidence is the part deep down inside you that inspired you to say, I know I'm going to suck at this for 6,000 times, and I'm going to do it anyway, because I know what's inside me can become the kind of person who can do this competently. And that is the secret source of confidence. And this is a really serious problem, because if you're struggling to feel confident, you are getting locked up. And if you don't figure out how to solve this, it's going to be an extremely painful experience in your life. You're sitting there going and saying, well, I'm not even going to start on this because I just don't feel like I'm good enough. I could never be as good as him. I don't even know if I will be good at this. Why should I even waste my time? You keep locking yourself into these negative mindsets that keep you from ever taking the actions that you need to begin the process of becoming competent at all. And until you get this on lock, I want you to really consider this. Think about every single opportunity you've already lost because you weren't confident enough to take action despite a lack of competence. And now, looking in this moment right here and now into your future, what is your future going to look like? If you don't go and try to get that job, you don't try to talk to that person, and you continue that pattern of behavior, what will that future look like? And this is how we begin to build our own hells on earth. The good news is you can begin to escape those by simply learning what we're going to teach you in today's video. So sit down, listen. I know it's hard. Everything's trying to pull you away. There's an entire beast system, an AI machine that is trying to hijack your attention, pull you away so that you do not learn what this video is going to teach you. Resist and come through the other side, because you are going to discover how to tap into inner confidence right now in this video. The first concept of confidence that you need to understand is that we are confident in different things. Different people are confident in different aspects of themselves, and this is based on your actual genetics and biology. This is called the cognitive functions. It's literally how your brain is wired. And what this means is that where you are going to feel confident is in places where you spend the most of your time. It's what your brain is best designed for. So for example, some people are better at imagining things and possibilities. This is called NE in the cognitive functions, while others are more about the moment and what's going on around right now and taking actions. And that's where they find their confidence. So if you went around and tried to judge people based on the metrics of one mind and it's different than your own, you're going to always feel unconfident because you're being judged by something that you're not even good at. So the very first thing you need to understand is what is your own personal source of confidence so that you can make sure that you're playing the right game. You know, if you're sitting there walking around judging Loki on his ability to be like Thor, well, Loki's probably not going to be very confident. But if you judge Loki by his ability to be Loki, well, he starts to feel a little bit more confident, doesn't he? That's what you're doing to yourself, and that's what society is doing to you on a grander scale as well. You have one cognitive stack, but you're being held to a standard that isn't who you are. So you got to make sure the very first thing is recognizing that you're measuring your confidence on a metric that actually matters, that actually makes sense. Use the right tool to measure yourself before you start any process in trying to build confidence, or you're just going to be setting yourself up for failure. I'm reminded of the parable in the Bible where they talk about setting a foundation, and it's a crucial piece because if your foundation is off for a home by even half of an inch, by the end of the construction process, the entire home is destroyed. It doesn't work. So it's so important that before you begin the process that you're going to go through today in this video right now, you begin to recognize that you need to have the right measuring tool for your confidence and not what someone else has said. Which leads us into the second topic of confidence that you gotta understand, which is the cognitive biases. Now, we talk about this a lot here on the channel, but in a nutshell, there are over 170 different ways that you are hallucinating your entire reality right now. These are called the cognitive biases. So if you sit there and you think you're looking at the world objectively and you're seeing the true truth of the world, you're not even close. It's absurd how wrong you are. The big one that you need to learn about here today is what's called the negativity bias. The negativity bias is the fact that you tend to look into the past and remember negative events way more vividly than you do the good things in your past. Now, coming back to that measuring tool, remember how important it is. Now, imagine if you were only measuring yourself based on the mistakes that you've made. And that is what your brain is unconsciously wired to do because of the negativity bias. And it makes sense. Don't sit here and hate on your unconscious mind. Why does it always focus on the negative? Oh, I have a negative mindset. No, this is exactly how your brain should work. Think about it. If you go back into survival times, it's really important that you remember where the danger snake was and it almost killed you. You want to remember that so you stay away from the danger snake zone and you don't get nibbed. Because if you get bit by a snake, you're dead. But on the bright side, it's like, okay, well, the berry bushes are over there, but there's a lot of berry bushes and, you can feel hungry for quite a long time and it's not going to kill you. So it's great to remember the berry bushes, but it's really important to remember the danger snake bush and stay away from that. So it highlights that part of you. So it's a great tool and mechanic in the right place at the right time. And that's really what's crucial about understanding how to use hypnosis, because each and every thought inside your mind makes sense. It's there for a reason. You just need to make sure that you're putting it in the right place at the right time, because the conscious mind is the captain of the ship and the unconscious mind is the crew. And if you don't give it direction, it's just going to sail about into a storm. But with the great captain at the top pointing in the right direction, you can begin to measure yourself by the standards that it should be. Just like with a map and the stars, you can begin to find your direction easily and effortlessly. And that's what's so crucial about understanding the concept of the negativity bias. So I'm going to be showing you how to conquer the negativity bias here in just a moment. But before we do need to address one final piece, which is the proper perspective on confidence. You see, most confidence issues actually come from a place of perspective. And by learning to change your perspective, you can begin to conquer this problem. Think about how much lacking confidence you have comes from the fact that you're thinking about who you think you should be right now, and you aren't. You've imagined a version of yourself in the future, and even worse, here and now as well. You have this imagined version that's perfect and does everything right, possibly, you think, and it's not you, but you're not it, and so now you feel unconfident. Well, I can imagine that I am anything I want, and I can feel really lousy about not living up to that, but that doesn't really make sense now, does it? Vice versa, you can think about all the things that you could have been in the past, and you're not now. Oh, look what I could have been if, well, how rich I would have been if I had bought Bitcoin at $50. Like, you can play this game all day. Again, you're picking the wrong perspective. And of course, the worst perspectives of all is look at all the other people around me and see where they are, and I'm not. Well, you don't know where they started. You don't know how long they've been on that path. You don't know what their natural strengths or weaknesses are. Maybe that's the thing they really rock at, but they're not good at other stuff. So there's all these perspectives that can lead us to feeling a lack of confidence inside. But what's good is there is perspectives that can actually bring us confidence as well. And that's the key, is to zoom out. And let's go way, way above this moment right here. Any when but now, far away, looking down upon ourselves here and now, that place, that perspective. When we look down at that, we find deep down inside us is something truly special, something that gives us a source of infinite confidence all the time, now and then, and even before now. Because what's inside you, the Christians call the soul, science can't even define it. And we've looked everywhere in the entire universe, and the only place we've ever found what's inside you is you. And that's something worth feeling confident about. A blip in the universe, something truly one of a kind, a moment that has never happened before and may never happen again. So bringing yourself back down into this moment here and looking at the world with the proper perspective, you can begin to feel your confidence rising, knowing that inside you is a source of limitless confidence. And once you have that proper perspective, you can begin to conquer that negativity bias we were talking about before. So what do we do? If we keep going into the past and we're only seeing the negatives and bringing it to the future here, how do we start measuring ourselves by the rules of success? Well, it's actually very simple. And this is actually one of the religious traditions, is gratitude. Whenever we express gratitude, we actually are going into the past consciously. We're using the captain of our ship to point ourselves in the right direction and say, what is the good that has happened in the past? What is the good that has happened to me? How has the world been working for me, not against me? And how have I been working for myself to make myself who I am now and all the things that I should be measuring myself with? That's gratitude. And that is the key to overcoming the negativity bias in the wrong place at the wrong time. We don't want to get rid of the negativity bias. It's important. You want to have a negativity bias too, looking both ways when you cross the street. You could get killed by a car. That is a good thing. But let's put it in the right place at the right time. The wrong place at the wrong time is when you're trying to find reasons to believe in yourself. We don't need the negativity bias there. We need gratitude. And you can tap into that by simply starting to express even the smallest bit of gratitude right now. The fact that you're taking a breath right here and now is something worth being grateful for, because not everyone's going to. Right now, someone just took their last breath. thank God it wasn't you. That's gratitude. And now that you're coming at things with the proper perspective, with that core confidence, and you're measuring yourself with the correct tool, it's the final step of figuring out what are you naturally confident in. And that's where we come back to those cognitive functions. Identifying your 8 cognitive functions from the works of Carl Jung, called the 8 cognitive functions, you can find that you will find your sources of confidence from your top 3 functions. This is called the hero function, the parent function, and the child function. So the source of your confidence is going to come from these top 3 cognitive functions. So you want to make sure that what you're doing in your life, you're designing and engineering your life in such a way so that your strategy for living your life is putting you in a position where your top 3 cognitive functions are being used most of the time, so that you get natural feelings of confidence from what you're doing, which is going to energize you. It's going to make you feel fulfilled. And then you have the ability to begin the path to competence. And it's so crucial to understand this point. Competence is 100% required. You need to become competent. It doesn't, if you're just confident and you're not competent, you're delusional. You're insane. You have to use confidence as a fuel source for competence. So to Alex Hermose's point, competence is very crucial. It's important to have competence. I am a big, big fan of it, but it is a category error. Confidence is not competence. And this is how you start to begin to get confidence so that you can begin the process of building competence. So now you have the toolkit. You know how to tap into your inner resources of unending confidence. You have the right tool to measure yourself by, and you know how to put yourself in a situation where you're going to naturally be energized and confident in the situation. With these 3 tools in your tool set, you are going to begin the process of building unending confidence in yourself and being able to feel better, feel good, and take the actions you need to make your dreams a reality.